by
They're
the
from a
time,
small town.
but when you were in high school and you're part of the choirs and stuff, who were your musical influences by that time? Because that would have been was that in the early 80s or
Yeah, I think I went to high school around 80, four. So at that time, whatever was on the radio, but generally I have always been an old school person. Like my parents' records that I inherited, though I've always loved those records all my life. So even though the other kids might have been into whatever it was happening at that time, and I loved it too, don't get me wrong, but my heart was always with the OJs, the Spinners, all the Motown stuff. Um, Frida Payne. I just went and saw her a few years ago, and I was just like, oh, like a kid in a candy store. I'm serious. Have you ever heard of Frida Payne? Now
no?
that you're gone, all that's left is a band of gold. All that's left of the dreams I hold is a band of gold. I'm gonna run out of breath. Listen, you need to go listen to that song, Band of Gold, Frida Payne.
Have
She
it.
was a true beauty. And she still a beautiful woman. But she was on the label Invictus, which was Dozier Holland's
Oh,
label
yes.
after they met Motown. They were like the big
Mm.
producers at Motown for the Supremes, the Four Tops, and but Martha and Vandellas, a bunch of people. So yeah. So anyway, I've always loved the older stuff, but I mean,
Okay.
I still love the SOS band and what else was out during that time? Oh my God, you from the UK? Do you know Five Star?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes. I interviewed Doris a year ago. Yes,
Oh,
they were
are you
our
serious?
Jackson. Yeah, yeah.
I loved Five Star. Like they were, New Edition. I actually saw Bobby Brown a few weeks ago, and I was just every time I see him, I'm like, Bobby, bro, you just don't know. I wanted to be you, man. Yeah, like when we had the group in high school,
Yeah, yeah.
like we everybody wanted to be somebody. And one of my friends really, really wanted to be Bobby Brown. So I think I was more like the Ralph Tresvant or something like that because my voice was higher and stuff. But yeah, we just love New Edition. But I also loved Five Star,
I didn't
and it's
realize
a
they were
trip
that
that you.
big in the US. I didn't realize they
Oh
were.
no, let me tell you, I was so bummed because they never came to the US. They did
Wow.
like Soul Train, a few shows, and I was just waiting. They put out a second album called no, the first one was Luxury of Life, the second was Silk and Steel. And I was like, oh, they gotta come, they gotta come. They were playing the songs on the radio and all that kind of stuff,
Mm.
but they never came to America. And then I saw the lead singer, her name is Denise. I want
Denise,
to
yeah.
say singing with was it Tamia? I want to say, and I just kept staring. I went to see Tamia at like this performance she had. This is when I lived in LA. And I'm just looking and looking, and I'm like, I know that girl. Who is that? And I was like, oh, it's the girl from Five Star. Oh my God. Let me be the one. Ow. Well, I still love Five Star, but that's like my high school crush. I loved Denise, Doris, and Lorraine.
Okay.
And the brothers, they just lost a brother,
Yes,
unfortunately.
Stedman, the oldest. Yeah, the oldest.
Mhm.
I'm gonna save this and send it to Doris and say,
Please
look
do.
what
Hey,
Trey.
Doris, I love you guys. Rain or shine, you'll always be.
Yeah, they were big for us.
Mhm.
But then, did you ever then think I can go be like New Edition or stuff, or was it just like a nice dream because you're in a small town? Did it ever feel as if you could make that next step?
Oh yeah, completely. That's why I decided to go to college in New Jersey. Like
Oh,
again, we have people like again, my buddy Mike that sings with Will Down, and his uncle was the captain of the New York Giants football team, Harry Carson. So I mean, we grew up with people in my hometown
okay.
that had achieved things and were doing stuff. So I just figured, okay, I gotta get a plan. I like, where am I gonna go? I want to do this. California was too far. We had family in New Jersey, and So I decided just to go to school up north. And that's which led into me being in a group up there. Have you ever heard of Redhead Kingpin?
Do the right thing.
Yeah, not talking about a black or white thing, because them.
Yeah.
So Redhead Kingpin had put he had a friend of his named Squeak, and a few of us was singing at the time in the late 80s. It was a new concept with a rapper with singers, and we were a group. And we were
Oh,
all under Teddy Riley's umbrella with
yeah.
so I kind of got my start with
Were you part
yeah.
of GR production?
Yes, exactly.
You're
So
kidding me.
this might be like 89, something like that. And I was still in, because I was by this time I'm in college. So I was maybe like a sophomore in college or something. So we were in this group, and the group broke up. We found out. I went home for Christmas, and Teddy Riley found some money missing from Gene Griffin or something. I don't know if I'm telling all this.
No, 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 no,
I think
no.
it's known, but
Yeah, yeah.
anyway, they had a big falling out, and the contract. Thank God we didn't even sign it, so I would have been probably tied up. But yeah, so we ended up not even signing the contract. So then, one of the guys in the group I remained good friends with, and he said, "Man, I got this session. Listen, this is my mom. Don't be going to New York at night." And don't be putting no drink down, because they're gonna put some of your drink. So she had this fear in me, and I was like, okay, I ain't doing none of that. I would go to New York, but by like 5, 6 o'clock, it start getting dark. I'm on the bus up out of there. But this particular night, my buddy was like, "Man, you gotta come, man. It's a white girl that sing like Whitney Houston." I said, "Oh Lord, wait a minute." And I, to this day, love Whitney Houston. Okay, Whitney Houston said to me, Trey, you are a singing motherfucker. You singing better than half these motherfuckers out there. You need to get up from under that wing and fly. So anyway, now don't that sound like Whitney? Okay, so anyway, so I couldn't believe she even knew who I was, but at this time I didn't know who I hadn't met her at this point. So I loved Whitney Houston. He said it was a white girl that sounded like Whitney. So I got to the studio and I was like, "You ain't right." She was like, "I'm mixed." I said, "Oh, okay, there was what it is." And anyway, that's when I met Mariah. That was February 1990. We became quick friends, and I ended up singing. She was working on her debut project, and I ended up coming and singing on one song. I think it was "There's Got to Be a Way." I think, but I might not have been on I know I'm in the video for that. "There's Got to Be a Way," but I can't remember if I'm singing on it or not. But whatever the case is, we became friends, and that's kind of how that ushered in that era.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between,
for even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No. Okay, you okay?
They don't understand what Jonas Boys and men and all spirits.
Play it.
And all these guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different genres.